us to treat our current businesses better and not lend money to an out-of-town developer who has yet to produce anything of significance. The Evans administration will not only define the role of downtown, but will place more emphasis on outlying neglected areas like Velp Avenue, East Town Mall area, even Broadway and Military Avenue, where we have some great opportunities for development. But we have to start working with developers and organizations like the Green Bay Area Chamber of Commerce. Those are the people that can drive this, not the government.
Thank you, candidates. Okay, our final question. Perhaps we could start in the middle this time. Number 2. Okay. Let's see. Economic development is a major issue in the region as the economic recovery is slowly moving forward. What is the city's role in economic development? And what are specific economic development efforts that should be pursued by either public or private entities? Sure, maybe I should do it this way.
That economic development, that's the answer. And we need to continue to grow the businesses we have here and also recruit new businesses to the community. I'll give you a little story about enzymatic therapy, which I played a major role in that. And here's a company that was purchased by a German organization. They also purchased a company in Utah and said, look, we need to make a decision. We're going to have our world headquarters. I took the leadership in contacting the state, and the state came down, the Commerce Department, and met, and as you know, they decided to have their headquarters here in Green Bay, and they're underway with a $12 million expansion. No money. We didn't have to give them money. We needed to sell them on the environment. They were very interested in neighborhood associations and trails and some of the amenities we have here. They got some help from the State Commerce Department, but something that we did to pull that together. The public-private partnership is how we're going to make this all work. I look at some of the development projects that we've had in the last number of years here. Greenwood Fuels, where I announced that I was running for mayor, a company on the west side on Ashland Avenue. There's a company that was going to build somewhere. They weren't sure. They came to Green Bay, they came to my office and said, look, we are looking at building somewhere. They take paper sludge, some plastics, and they turn it into pellets, which you can use in place of coal. It's great for the environment. They put $20 million into that, and they're going to have those companies all over the United States. Started right here in Green Bay. The other area of focus that I've been working on to expand in Green Bay that I think we can do very, very well with is healthcare. You look at the 4 hospitals we have here. St. Mary's, $30 million. Aurora, $45 million investment. Those are people investing in healthcare. Look, they don't have them. They wouldn't invest if they didn't believe that they had a strong government, that they had a good workforce, and they had a sustainable community. So the city's role in economic development is really to give confidence to the businesses, the small entrepreneur, the large entrepreneur, and we have a great plan for downtown. Our plan is going to come to fruition. It's something that we're excited about. You're going to be hearing a major announcement for a company that could go anywhere that's going to pick Green Bay, they're going to pick downtown. It's because of the city's role, it's because of the administration, the leadership we have in this city in all departments, and most importantly, it's going to be the people that work here and choose to live here.
I'd like to talk about bringing people together. And one thing that is going to drive the economic development in this city is bringing people together in neighborhood-friendly development. We need to draw people from surrounding communities. We need to be very strategic, and we need to plan development that weaves through the city. Now, we should be looking at surrounding communities. We need to build partnerships. When you hear that, to me that is exactly right on. We want a vibrant community, and Those things go hand in hand. We don't, in building the partnership, we don't have any reason not to look at successful models in other cities. We can look all around us, the businesses flourishing, we hear this all the time, and there's no reason to find out what are they doing that we're not. There has to be a reason why our downtown still looks the same way it did when I took office the first time. To me, it goes deeper than looking at the economic environment of our country when everyone else is making it happen. So it means reaching out, drawing people together, and really understanding that we can make it happen by partnering and by creating the neighborhood-friendly businesses. Can we picture walking outside your door, being able to have a small bakery, you smell the bread, you'll be able to go to a small cafe be able to sit outside in the summer. I mean, there are definitely wonderful places that should exist in our neighborhoods that don't right now, and that's what we have to strive for.
What is our role in economic development? Well, it's pretty simple. Recruitment of new businesses is one thing, but getting out in the community and talking to existing community leaders and finding out if there's something we can do for them, see if we can help them grow. When you bring a new person into Green Bay, you not only talk about what their plans are, what their needs are, but you want to show them what Green Bay has to offer. We have some of the finest schools in Wisconsin. Grade school, high school. We have two of the best schools for UWGB, NWTC. Those are big drawing points. Everybody knows the Green Bay Packers, but what they also want to see is there anything else for our kids to do? Just today, I was at a presentation for the 75th year of the Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, growing up in Green Bay, downtown, growing up as a kid, we used to walk down there all the time. And to see how that has grown, and see how Green Bay has developed that with the friends of the wildlife, that's what people want to see. They don't want to see a Green Bay with empty buildings. They don't want to see Green Bay where their streets don't get plowed for 2 days. We can't bring people into Green Bay and show them the area when we have our brush and our leaf piles out there for 2 months. We need to expand our energy and show people that Green Bay is not only environmentally safe, but we have a lot of good things in Green Bay.
The question asks whether it should be a public or private entity that creates this economic development. And in every situation where it can, it should be a private. Government can create economic development. We can foster it. We can assist in it. But true economic development is going to be the private sector. I think that's been very clear lately. The city has to instill confidence in the people that want to invest in the city. If you don't have that, you don't have anything. So number one is you create a department within planning that a person can go to. Instead of going to 3 or 4 different departments and different committees, we need to have a point of contact that people who want to invest in the city, want to start up a business, can go to and go through the whole entire process talking to one person, not 5 different people. It's going to make it much easier. I went to the Redevelopment Authority meeting for the last 2 months. I really learned a lot on what's happening in Green Bay. There's the issue with the Watermark project, which is still there. The other day, Jeff Oil from the Bullfrogs came to the meeting requesting assistance in building a baseball stadium on Broadway. I walked out of that meeting thinking, here's a guy who has really put his heart and soul into the park across the street here, has spent a lot of money and a lot of time trying to improve Green Bay. He is Green Bay to me. And those are the type of people I think we really need to help. He wants to put something on Broadway. I lived in the city. I remember when there was a time when UWGB would have been downtown, but it wasn't. There was a time this city would look like now today had any one of those entities, or all three, had been downtown. We wouldn't have to worry about transit. We would need a transit system downtown, but we don't. And I think right now we're at a pivotal moment. And maybe we can't, and maybe it won't work out financially, but it's something we really have to look into. But most of it does get down to working with our citizens, to instilling confidence in government, and the rest will come.
Being one of the small business owners of this city, I can tell you that many times we don't feel welcome, and we don't feel like we're open door policy to be talked to. Our license fees are all up, our property taxes are up, our personal property taxes are up, a 0.5% sales tax that we've got to pay. That it all puts us behind the 8 ball. I think the city's job is to provide some services and some parking. I don't think the city should be lending money to private businesses. I think the city should be promoting a minimum of taxes. They should put a business-friendly atmosphere where when you go into zoning, you can talk to zoning, but I'm not talking about the new people coming in. What's wrong with all the people who are already here? There's many of us that have been in business for a long time in this city that are totally ignored. No one comes and talks to us. No one asks what we think. Instead, they send us letters saying these rates are going up. We're not going to pick up your garbage. You got to provide your own recycling containers, and on and on and on. We need to start focusing on the people that are here. You got Cub Foods that's going out of business in 2 places in town. You got Kmart that's going out of business 2 places in town. You've got a myriad of little business storefronts all over this town. If this city was a mouth, it would be a third world mouth, because the teeth were the businesses. It would be a third world mouth because every other tooth would be gone. And it's not going to get any better until the people in the administration take a look at who's here. Mr. Rush had a good point. You know what? Let's do business with the people that live here. Even if it costs a little bit more money. They live here, they go to our schools, their kids play with our kids. Let's start taking care of the people that are here, and the rest will come. Thank you.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
Okay. So, well, you know what? The real issue is the city government should not be the primary entity pushing economic development. We've seen a perfect example of how this, does not work. The city of Green Bay moved Admiral Flatley Park on the promise of a 17-story upscale building, along with $65 million in construction, resulting in a $48 million tax base. Remember that promise? But what do we get? We got the flats, a low-income housing project on the most valuable piece of riverfront property. Along with that, the Vetter Watermark project has been scaled back, and the absolutely worst item is the city provided a loan to a private developer. This is unprecedented, and to me it should almost be illegal. Taking taxpayer money and loaning it to a private person or company is clearly wrong. I've had numerous small business owners come up to me and say, Pat, where's my low interest loan from the city? Additionally, it's development by speculation. In the real world, you need, in order to get, a requirement is to have 70 to 80% minimum occupancy before they will secure a loan. This did not happen, and now you can see why there were no local banks interested in getting involved with this project. What I find really interesting is in a recent Press Gazette article describing how construction on development would not begin until owners could guarantee the building would be filled. Derek Lord, the Director of Economic Development for the City of Green Bay, said this, quote, "We know that because the development community is more conservative, that we're not going to see a major influx of speculative development in the market," unquote. But that is exactly what the city did. Can you imagine it? Under my administration, private developers will bring the ideas and they'll bring the money.